right, so we got lots of news this morning, out of fucking nowhere.
I know one of them.
That's it.
Oh, Biggs.
Biggs. Actually, not just this morning, but just in general. There's just a lot of Yokai Watch news. Let's be real, which is great. Essentially, oh god, what was it? 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago, there was this Japanese-only press conference for this mobile game called Yokai Watch World, which is essentially Yokai Watch Pokemon Go, but with actual battles akin to Yokai Watch 1. So I think it's just gonna be better. Well, it has a gacha though, so maybe not. But I tried it out and I didn't find any yokai. I heard someone say that it only spawns yokai in Japan, which seems weird to me.
You have to wait for them to release the American ones.
It doesn't even make it. Yeah, you can only get American yokai in America. But it's just weird. I figured, like, cause you load up the map and it shows like my neighborhood, just like Pokemon Go did and stuff.
I just find the ink. I hate the ink so much.
Like, yeah, I still don't believe that it's like genuinely Japan only like that. I just think that I didn't find any yokai because I don't live in a city, which is the big problem with these games.
Yeah, that's probably more likely it.
But yeah, I heard that yokai don't spawn outside of Japan, and if that's the case, that's kind of sad. But the interesting thing about it is the logo was the American logo, and there is a Japanese logo, which I like more honestly, but they didn't use it, and they had like world in English first, and then the Japanese after it in smaller text. So
It's curious.
like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be coming over here.
It's probably just like they haven't set up like the framework for other countries, like, you know, the algorithms that like decide how to spawn yokai for certain city types and all.
Yeah, like, I don't know how, like, in Pokemon Go there were like hotspots, which don't exist around here and only in cities. I don't know how that works. I know you can plant trees, like the...
I mean, it's basically like the developers like look at the map, or rather than look at the map, like they assign an algorithm, design it so that it like uses machine learning to pick out like spots it considers like central points, like landmarks, interesting patterns in those, and like places that look like populated areas where lots of people will be or people gather and easily use their phones and shit. And then the algorithm just does the rest. It just, based off of that, it just goes, okay, like hot point here on the map, hot point here on the map, and just round and round like the global map.
It's just kind of weird because on the presentation they brought out an English speaker from Google Maps to talk about like how they're using Google Maps and stuff.
Yeah,
so
because they didn't have like anyone who spoke Japanese.
Yeah, it's just kind of like weird that they wouldn't have any hotspots outside of Japan.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they probably haven't like run the algorithm on other countries yet. It's like they're probably doing it chunk by chunk because like Niantic were essentially just like a Google offshoot. They're like a lot like more hooked in than level 5. So 5 has to like
that's bad news.
A third party, well, essentially, to get the data and have to use their own algorithms. Whereas Niantic were basically like formed and built on the very technology that made Pokemon Go work, because like they made that Ingress game first as like an experiment and proof of concept, essentially. When
well,
I was in my
say
workplace,
worked.
like fucking everyone in my office like played the shit out of that game. Except me, because I didn't have any 4G on my phone or anything. But they already had the tech up and working, but I think level 5 had to make their own essentially, so probably doing it piecemeal.
Maybe. It's definitely interesting. I think it's coming over here though, at some point. Hopefully not 3 years later. Like
it probably won't come here at all.
Like every Yokai Watch game.
That's basically what I've come to accept.
I guess it depends. It's still weird to me, like, if you if you're a Japanese person vacationing in America, you just can't play the game. Just so weird to me. But yeah, there's Yokai Watch World, and then this morning Yokai Watch Blasters, which is Yokai Watch Busters, but they changed it, so it's gonna be annoying to refer to it as its name.
Just call it one or the other. It's fine.
No, impossible. But that was finally announced, just like Yokai Watch 2, like 3 years later. So we're on good track here. But I mean, it's just the mini game from 2 extended into a full game. It actually looks pretty fun. I forget if it has
that mini game, so I have no idea what it is.
Basically, how do I even describe it? It's kind of like, remember the Oni time thing?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but then you actually fight like the Oni and the monsters. So I guess in a way it's kind of like Monster Hunter. Because you can have up to 4 people.
Is like the biggest reach possible.
I mean, I don't really know how to describe it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Just 4 people fighting a bigger monster using special moves and shit. I haven't really played it because the Yokai Watch 2 one was local only.
Call it both Blaster and Buster.
Is that a seagull?
Yep.
That's interesting.
3 seagulls.
But I don't remember if Busters has online or not. But
Probably not.
if it does, that'd be sick. If it doesn't, then I'll probably, I don't know if I'll pass. I think you can do it single player, so maybe I might try that. But it introduces Usapion and should still have a lot of Ghostbusters, references in it. I would hope. Because they changed Whis Mellow Man to look or less like the Stay Puft Marshmallow dude. Even though it was completely fine in Japan.
Well, that's the thing, though. Copyright laws are different between countries. It's the same thing with JoJo. It's like, why do you think all the localized names aren't like the music, like the bands and like the song names? It's because fucking copyright laws, like in America specifically, for music especially, would just fucking eat them alive. So they have to change all of them.
All right.
Yeah, they have to change it.
But like the thing is, he looks so much fucking creepier. Like, like he has his mouth is like facing downward and his tongue is lolling out and his eyes look dead and fucking creepy. Okay, but like it's especially weird because Whis Mellow Man was the same in Wibwob. They didn't change him there, so I don't know what the deal is. I just hope they don't change a lot to be like, oh, whoever owns Ghostbusters will fucking shoot us!
I mean, A, that's Sony, and B, that's probably because Nintendo, they're like helping localization. They're like, we're not taking any fucking chances. Whereas Level 5 by themselves are probably would have just been like, fuck it, who cares?
Hey, were you the one that stopped this over here?
Yes, I was.
You bitch.
I was in a prime place to kill it until like, the enemies came along.
That's, I think, quote, that's it for Yokai Watch. No, wait, well, technically, they announced Season 3 of the dub, too. Which...
Whatever.
Haley Ann.
What?
That's the name of Inaho in the...
Alright, so you can have a foreign filthy name that might make Americans think there's something outside the border.
I was thinking about it earlier. The problem with, like, me doing these Yokai Watch 1 and 2 songs is, like, I have to localize the names, don't I?
I mean, like, surely, like, there are, you could just say this is this section in the game, or, like, this is from, I don't know, Bumfuck Alley, or whatever it's called.
Keita's house versus Nate's house, especially. In Yokai Watch 3, I just called it Keita's house
Big
because...
to join us, by the way.
Alright. Because it's Japan only, but everyone knows him as Nate in the Yokai Watch 1 and 2 and shit, so I guess I'll just go with that even though I don't like it.
Do they? Because I've only ever seen him referred to as Killer.
Yeah, because that's what he's called in the games.
Yeah, I know, but like, you say like everyone knows him as Nate, like, I don't think they do.
Like, kids, people who are looking up the songs.
Alright, yeah.
That's what's important, I guess. Because I'm going to be using the localized names for the locations anyway, and I guess the yokai too, even though yokai have a lot better Japanese names.
Oh, that's the trouble with puns, isn't it? It's like trying to translate all and make them fucking work in English.
I wonder how they're going to do the Yokai Watch 3 yokai. I think they have already done them and they're different, so...
I mean, doubtlessly, right?
But like, you know,
a lot of them are still based in like Japanese word puns and all that.
Yeah, they use Japanese words and English words, so I figure they'd be like, ooh, half and half. That's good enough for us, especially because they heavily lean towards English words
man,
anyway.
you can't do that. You can't have any trace of them foreign filthy puns. You gotta cut all of it out.
I mean, the Yokai Watch names aren't that bad either. They're like the Pokemon names, whatever. They work. I definitely like the Japanese names better.
I'm glad that missile tapped me and just disabled my jump button. That's great.
I guess also as far as Yokai Watch news goes, we finally watched Shadow Side.
We did, yeah.
And we pretty much talked about it on Twitter. I don't know, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to talk about it until I have full thoughts on it, but for now, you know, I'm not really impressed, you know? It's like, basically, well, one, the yokai aren't really yokai. They're just kind of like, basically, there's this formula that they have where the kids have a detective agency, they hear or they read posts about like, oh, there's a yokai haunting this place or whatever. They go check it out, it's like usually an inanimate object, and then they, I don't know, sometimes they fight it, sometimes they don't. The fight scenes aren't that good despite the buff yokai and shit. So
yep.
It doesn't even have that, which I thought they were gonna, that's what the shift was, but no. And then it has a sad backstory about how it was abandoned or something. It's not really sad though.
Died.
It just kind of, yeah, it just kind of floods you with this kind of shit, and then you know, they befriend it and it's done. And I'm like, that's kind of been the formula for a while. And that, but then there's like all this other shit. Like they're the new yokai, but there are only a few of them, you know, like the yokai you recognize, and they barely even show up. Like, Jibanyan only showed up, like, thrice, I think, in 5 episodes.
Something like that. Which is a shame, because I fucking love his new voice.
Yeah, it's...
Like, I fucking love that. His new attitude in general. He's like, he could have had that easily.
I feel like he shares the same Japanese voice actor. Well, no, never mind. But he reminds me of the tennis dude in Danganronpa V3. It's just a really deep voice.
It's a pretty good voice. Now, I like his new way of like facing things. But, like in the first fight against like the Ghost Gang Leader one, he was like, when the guy just like laughed, he was like, "That's weird." He had the upper hand.
Also in the ED, he stops the truck.
Yeah, I like that. All right, hang on before that bakes in. Remember?
Yeah. He's not pathetic and everything. Like I don't even know where the focus on this anime is, because then like it cuts back to this antagonist kid and his human-esque yokai that shoots darts at people and supposedly turns them into wicked, but they're unique wicked, and we don't know what the motive is. And then there's this kid who never talks that has this different yokai watch that we've never seen before, I think. Maybe later on in the anime, but I doubt it. And he can transform into 4 different human-esque yokai, and I have to establish I hate those yokai. The King Enma-esque, like Final Fantasy kind of yokai, I hate them because they aren't based in anything. They're just there to be edgy.
I don't know why you say Final Fantasy when they don't look like anything from Final Fantasy.
I don't know. Just what would you say? You're more versed in this shit.
I would just say, like, I don't know, like extremely anime, because that's what they
anime
were.
Sure. It's just like, I mean, maybe some of them are based in stuff, but they definitely don't try to tell you.
Historical figures from Japan, historical/mythical. Like Yoshitsune, Goemon. Who's the art? Like Fudo was one of the art too. Like, those are all like figures who've had like stories or had like historical importance in Japan.
I guess that's better. Oh wait, it's cannons. The other cannon's better, I realized, but... Oh, shit. It's just, I'm not a fan of them, honestly. If I'm being real with you, I'm not a fan.
I'm not either because it's just a big massive what's the point with them right now, because they don't do anything that you couldn't just have another yokai do. And they ultimately seem either like hilariously, stupidly overpowered to the point of why would you use the regular yokai versus, you know, like the sumo wrestler guy couldn't fight a fucking walking pot.
Yeah.
Like you always like struggle to fight a walking pot. It's just kind of like, you know, the power levels all over the place. Like, why would you use anyone other than Yoshitsune? Because he can just track yokai perfectly.
Yeah. He's just like really OP out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And like his
especially since the guy he uses isn't the main or the lead. He just kind of farts about in the background.
Barely talks.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, oh man, I lost my train of thought. But he's just like, just overpowered. It's kind of boring. And it's like, then like, I think the last episode we watched, there were like 3D models of these human-esque yokai with swords.
3D model of one of them.
Well, didn't the fire dude also have that? I don't remember. The red sword dude. It just, there seems to be a focus on that. Not even just like edgy versions of all the yokai like I thought. It's just, and then you just don't know what's happening. You have no idea. They don't explain anything. Like how'd the kids get to this point? Why is this girl on the watch?
This is kind of the thing where, like, at the very first episode, like the first 2-3 minutes are this really like quick, hasty recap with like footage from what I assume is a movie that hasn't been released yet because they haven't fucking finished it yet. So it's like it's literally putting the cart before the horse. They put the TV show out, but like the movie that establishes everything, explains who everyone is, sets everything up, and can Luigi please stop me? I'm in here. You can come in. But you know, like everything, like all the setup and all is in that movie, and that movie's not coming out yet. Not even in Japan. Like it's just not out yet. Like it's fuck. They just haven't done it. And, you know, like Yokai Watch 4, the game, probably also does a lot of foundational shit. That's not out yet either.
Shadow side base. Yep.
Yeah. Like that's just in the ether. Like sometime this year. Fuck knows exactly when.
There's just a lot of stuff you don't know, like where they got the watches, why the Yokai Watch, so, like preferred the protagonist's brother once, like it can be changed, like where they got the yokai.
What the hell the Yokai Watch thing that lets him do the fancy anime man transformations is.
Why a normal ass kid has it.
Why does the monk kid like is shown said to do sorcery in like the movie preview, but then he never does a damn thing in the actual show?
Yeah, for 5 episodes. What?
6 actually, isn't it?
I think we watched 5.
Alright.
But yeah, really,
Big's in.
No.
I even told you.
How unfortunate, Street.
I just noticed that. I'm fucking sorry.
Well, see now, if Gavin is also slipping on that, then
It's not slipping because I explicitly told you to wait, and then you hit the button.
You're the one who didn't notice too, so.
I have no control over who gets in.
Either way, it's not a big deal.
Door's open. He's just sitting outside singing at me. Like, come in, cat. You're allowed to. But yeah, no, like, it's also, I mean, like, the Yokai Watch anime has always been, like, extremely formulaic. It's, like, probably my biggest problem with the show, is that it's always been formulaic to a piss-taking degree. But this is that without any of the foundation for the formula.
Yeah.
It's just leapt straight into like the routine and the mix with the like the usual shit, but it hasn't done anything to actually like establish the formula. It hasn't like we don't know what the hell any of the bits of it are. It just kind of leapt into it and assumed you'll.
Whoa!
It's one hell of an analogy. I don't even remember which analogy it is.
Alive.
Well, I'm just dead again. Cause fuck. Hang on. Wait, let it be good. And also, hang on, give me a second. I gotta go see what the cats are doing.
I mean, I don't know. I think, yeah, it's still formulaic, I guess. The Yokai Watch shadow side, which, because I'd mentioned it before. It's like they find a post about a yokai. Well, even just the intros where it shows a little cinematic of someone being haunted by it. So it does that. Then it shows the protagonist kind of getting a lead for it. Then the protagonist try to find out how to find it. Then the protagonist's brother always gets hit by it, and then they, I don't know, sometimes fight the yokai, just have an encounter with it, and then, you know, deal with it, and then that's the end. It's like, it's kind of been that for the 5 episodes we watched, so, you know, kind of tired, but, hey.
Boy.
At the same time, I'm hoping that, like, cause it's funny. The anime is still funny, despite the serious overtones it has and shit. It's still quirky and shit, and I'm hoping that they explain stuff in future episodes at least, and they're doing this intentionally. So that's why I still want to give it a chance, but if it just kind of keeps going on like this, then I might drop it.
Which is weird to me, because you're stuck with the main show, even though it is the same shit.
I still like, it's not the formula shit that bothers me, though. Because, you know, even the Yokai Watch show, it does, they have a segment, and it is like the same kind of bit over and over, but then it only lasts for like 5 or so episodes before moving on. And it's a bit, it's one bit.
Like the American Koma-san one was like fucking 15 episodes. It was the same joke every time.
I have no idea, since I didn't watch it.
What, did you just pass out when we were watching those episodes?
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you were talking about the localization anime. The dub.
No. The whatever the fuck his name was, the Koma-san but American one. It was the same joke for like literally.
How could you forget?
Like
K-Koma and K-Jiro.
It was the same, like, it was literally the same joke, like, repeated 5 times, 5 minutes for like 15 or more episodes. And like, I do like the Yokai Watch. I mean, I like it a lot. It's, you know, funny. It's great. It's, you know, it does a lot of nice shit. Funny, like, funny gags, funny sight gags, great character moments and all that. But whenever like they're phoning it in, Jesus Christ, they phone it in.
Yeah, it is just like same scenario dressed in a different scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know, Whisper's gonna get eaten by the giant, I guess the name's Massive Face boss by the end of like all the Japanese, the you know, Imperial Japanese parts, but like
Massive Breakings bits, yeah.
Yeah, you don't know like how, at least. You just know it's gonna happen, but like it kind of has that, and then it does swap out bits every so often, and then the you know, normal bits are like with Keita are pretty unique, and those are, yeah, that separates the recurring parts. It's kind of hard to explain if you haven't watched it, but yeah, that's the one bad thing about the Yokai Watch anime, is it's pretty formulaic. But I still think it's funny, so that's why I like it. And adds personality to all the yokai and shit that you see in the games and whatnot, which is the most important part, I think, giving personality to the yokai, because That's what they are, personalities. I don't know. It's still up, correct? Looks like it. Just making sure Discord didn't die or anything.
It's still up. My sister's just being a fucking cunt.
Okay, I didn't hear the mic boop there. What was it? Don't stay out of this, you fucking cunt! Yeah, we'll see with the Shadow Side anime. And then report back later, but things aren't looking good so far.
It just seems like, outside of the fact that I haven't set anything up, otherwise it seems like pretty standard Yokai Watch.
It's just, it doesn't have the, like, the yokai, like, I don't know, it's still kind of funny, but it's not, it doesn't...
When you're saying, I mean, you might imagine you said it earlier, like, you're like, it doesn't have, like, this, everyone's just, like, objects and shit instead of the same thing as the yokai, where they're all concepts or whatever.
Oh, look, I know there are yokai that are everyday objects.
It's not that there are yokai that are that, it's that most of them, and, like, a gigantic majority are that. But the conceptual thing they came up with was, like, you know, that doesn't cover a lot of yokai that actually are around. A lot of it really is just objects or dead people.
Well, they have, like, you know, a kind of, what's the word? A basis in reality. Like, earlier when we were watching, I brought up the slipper yokai that are just slippers, but, like, the thing is they get, like, mismatched or whatever. I kind of forget the backstory of them, but, like, you know, that's an everyday occurrence that everyone kind of experiences, which is kind of the point of yokai. So it works.
Everyone, because I've never heard of that in my life, but sure.
Well, I imagine it's a thing in Japan, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the one yokai that sticks out to me as it's like an offense to this is that, oh god, what are the squid balls called?
Takoyaki?
Yeah, there's a takoyaki yokai that's just takoyaki that I guess wasn't cooked properly. I mean, like, I don't even think it's that. But that one was like, oh, this isn't a good one. They don't always hit it out of the park, but most of the time,
after, like 400 or 500 of these things, yeah.
Yeah, like even the tiny things, like the fucking slipper things, I'm fine with. But, like, you know, these yokai don't, like, they seem like they're there to fight or something, but I don't know, it's just like these yokai seem very specific. Like, the one yokai was a pot that an owner used, and then he stopped working on the thing, and that's why he stopped working in the shop, and that's why he became a yokai. Like, that's very specific. Not really a fan of that.
I mean, that's how it is, man. I mean, like, Shinto gods, there's like a Shinto god for fucking everything. It's not like, oh, there's a Shinto god of electronics. Now there's like ones for phones, games, consoles, this, like, robot dogs, this, that, and the other. Like, it's just how it is. That's how, like, animism-based religions and spiritual beliefs work.
I don't know, I just kind of like when the yokai and Yokai Watch are relatable, you know? That's my thing. Oh my god, this is hell. I think we're good on Yokai Watch for now.
Yeah.
Why would Biggs, a trusted member of chat, take my cannon? This is why you don't let him in, Gavin.
You have to learn someday. To learn to fend for yourself like cannon.
I have to get out of the cannon to reload ink and dodge sniper fire because my teammates won't kill them.
It's almost like there's a giant horde of fat cunts in the way or something.
Well, that's not my problem.
Yeah, that's our problem.
I get the thing here. I feel like I did. What else was announced?
Did you have any other news? Or
yeah,
whatever?
did you see the hamster in Overwatch?
I didn't know.
There's a hamster character in Overwatch now.
So we're just literally Battleborn now then.
He has he rolls around, it looks like, in a ball-shaped mech that also can grow legs. Has guns on it, I guess. And he's like he's like a half human, he looks half human sized.
Okay.
I don't know if he talks or anything, but I tweeted about it before the stream. It seems very out of place for Overwatch.
Yeah, that looks. That's. I'm almost certain like that or something close to that is like a Battleborn character. I think Battleborn was a penguin. Was how wacky.
It's like I like the idea of just like these kind of animals, especially like a hamster fighting this thing. It's just Overwatch has like so many human characters and like all this setup that kind of doesn't facilitate a hamster character, I think.
I mean, I know there's like a lot of like, oh, they're disbanded or they were all fighting each other or whatever, but let's be honest, that has no real basis on anything.
Well, it kind of does in the events and stuff. Like, what's it called? Not Resurrection. Something. And like Black Watch. Stuff like that.
I wouldn't know because I've never played anymore.
But it's just like, the closest thing we have is Winston, and he's an ape. So, that's pretty close to humans. Like, the best thing about Winston is that he talks. So, that's what makes this hamster thing at least semi-believable. I didn't even get my egg in because I was mashing both buttons. But, yeah, I think, like, what they can do is add kind of more characters like that or more lore like that and then make the hamster kind of fit in. And I'd be fine with that. But at the moment, it just seems like a very weird choice.
I mean, it's not like you play the game anyway, is it?
Well, I'm interested in it. So now this puts me in a bit of an awkward spot. Alright, I got it.
There's nothing but awkward spots.
Is that... No, okay, didn't go in.
Oh, there's a snake. Oh, that was a cohook. Oh, that was in everything.
2 snakes.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Woo!
Oh, yeah, this taxi just shoves me back into the snake. I just need to be revived. If one of you could succumb.
Whoop.
Not a snake. It's fine.
Uh-oh, this isn't good. Nope. That somehow got me. But yeah, that's all we know about the hamster. There's a 10-second trailer of its mech kind of rolling in, stopping, and then the hamster coming out and not saying anything. And then the Overwatch logo. So, we'll see.
Let's see.
It's just so weird. This is a very weird pick for the roster. And then after that, Wadey Layton is getting a Switch port.
Yeah, they announced that last year.
Oh, they got a new trailer then. I did not know that. It got a trailer for Japan and it's releasing. Did I write that down? Nope, but it has a release date.
Sometime September or something like that.
Oh yeah, Yokai Watch Busters is September 7th. So that's pretty close, like 2 months away.
3.
In a week. Because it's the end of June, believe it or not.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad because that means I'm closer to being paid.
That's all Gavin cares about at the moment.
Yeah.
Tunnel visioning on the money.
Like, I fucking need it bad. Okay.
Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, I watched the Salmon run. You only did 1, right? Like, I'm not missing a Twitch VOD?
No, I did 2.
2 without me?
Yep.
Where's the Twitch VOD for the second one? Did you do it in between?
On the Twitch photo, it would be the same one as the second spot.
Okay, okay.
One session. And then on YouTube, they're both separate.
Sorry about the canon. You will never be forgiven. Okay, so
yes.
yeah, I didn't know if you did a second one because of the Twitch VODs, but I did watch the first one.
Oh.
And I like how you made a comment saying that like we had coordination. It was like, lol, we don't have any coordination.
I mean, it wasn't coordination. It was that it was a nice balancing act with have someone focusing on survival. While
oh no, that's not what you said. That's not what you said in the VOD. So
that's fine. That's pretty close to what I said in the vlog, 'cause I didn't say coordination, so I don't know what you're on about.
You did.
No, I didn't.
You did. I watched it this morning and I wrote it down. just to make this shithead comment. Yeah, the other funny thing, kind of regarding that was, you said like, because you were like losing and shit, and you said maybe I should focus on like being a survivalist instead of picking up the eggs, and I'm like, I told you what my role is important.
I mean, I've only ever jokingly said it was.
Yeah, I know. I'm just driving the point home. Fuck you, Hurley. Just interesting, you know? I guess maybe if everyone's going for eggs and doesn't focus on killing the bosses or inking the turf, then,
I mean, it's also the fact that when I'm playing with, you're playing with public players, it's just against, like, turf war. Like, every single time the game will roll you the shittiest of, like, allies possible. Just, it will.
Everyone's trying their best, Gavin. Except for us, because we're talking about Yokai Watch instead.
When I see like a fucking level 83 using Dewey's gonna get 300 points in a turf war match, he's not trying his fucking best. Like, he just isn't, you know? Like, that's someone fucking about or being massively incompetent.
Maybe they're talking about Yokai Watch. We don't know. Oh, fuck. So just stay alive, Hurley. I know I said fuck you earlier, but that was in jest. I guess another thing is, you don't follow Edmund Mellon, I imagine.
No.
He's making a big thing about this Isaac card game that he's making, where he has like this kind of ARG-esque stretch goal system where he's like, all right, for the next like announcement or whatever, send me like 20 pictures of like a Bible on your mom's head and like Isaac tattoos.
When you say like, oh, he's making this ARG thing, I just immediately felt myself grow tired.
I guess the thing is he's been retweeting all of it, so it's kind of hard to ignore it. It's kind of funny though, because one of them was like,
it's not even that. It's just that you could just not fuck a boy.
Well, I think it's pretty fun. I think it's fine. Like my favorite one is find Isaac items in your house, and some people have found really.
To be honest, like the sheer amount of money his shit has made, I feel like it's a bit gone to go to Kickstarter for this.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna get to that because I saw David tweet about that. That's not good.
I agree with him.
Yeah, of course, because Isaac has made so much money. Making a Kickstarter for your game is kind of in bad taste.
It's a KG and a finish. Shit.
Woo! Exactly. So I'm not a fan of that, and I'm not gonna do the Kickstarter. The ARG thing is kind of fun. That's not the right word, but whatever. Since when do I ever say the right words? It went the other way! Are you kidding me?
Stop digging before the double rain destroys me. I live.
I really I wanted to talk about how kind of shitty the Kickstarter thing is.
Yeah. It's pretty shit.
Edmund definitely has a lot of money. A bunch of money.
Like, to an extent, like, I find that, like, fine in some instances. Like, Bloodstained, right? Like, they were like, we have, like, a publisher and they are funding us, but it's not enough to make the game we want to make. Like, we can't make it as big and elaborate as we want to on the funding we got from Deep Silver. So we wanted it more, and by also showing this hype for this, they will probably up their funding as well.
It's high
Fair enough.
up here. Okay, it's the middle one maybe. Yep.
But like when it's literally just I have made a fuck ton of money, I could easily like just, you know, pay the cost for this up front and get it shipped out or like kicked out or whatever. Because I assume like it doesn't need fucking millions for.
Yeah, of course, it's a card game.
So like, you know, like I don't know, like a week of Isaac sales or whatever the fuck, and all those other games, they just surely could have. You know, surely you could have funded this like purely by yourself.
That was my bad. I was confident. I mean, I think the thing is, Isaac fans are really passionate, so he knows they'll fund it. Which is shitty, but I think that's the incentive.
Shitty, but, I mean, logical enough, I suppose.
Like, you know, I'm not one of those Isaac fans, so I'll just watch at a distance.
Where is it? I heard it go
Yep, there was a Goldie, but we don't fucking know where it is. That's unfortunate.
I can't see it. They're all fucking the endless co-hosts. Why are there so many fucking co-hosts?
Because we opened too many. This map is not good for this. Oh my god, and I had to shoot it. Oh, fuck. God damn it, I heard it. After I already fired the shots and they were falling onto the gusher. Okay, that's kind of not fair. Alright, we have to hit the back one. It's our only chance. Nope, we lose. Well, that sucks. We're coming up on 2:30. Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of awkward now because I was just gonna, like, I have a new dog, like, before the one afternoon dog I've had forever. So I have less time. But, like, on Tuesday, I came at the time I was usually doing. Like, I left at 2:30. Got there around 3:40 or 2:45, and the owner was there, and she's like, "Oh yeah, sometimes I get back at 3." I'm like, "Ooh, that's kind of awkward. Kind of want to leave earlier than that." I don't know why I'm being hired for some of those, but you know, I can at least take the dog for a walk. But I really want to avoid that, so that's why I kind of want to leave earlier. Which means we should have probably done a 600, but there was a lot to talk about, so. It's fine. Well, and you know what? This will be a test run to see if it always happens or not.
Oh, you gotta be lit again? Well, I guess you will.
Yeah, it's just always so awkward when you're walking the dog and then someone's there. Like someone working on the yard, or the owner themselves, or their neighbor. And you're just like, oh god, like, am I gonna do one thing wrong and then they're gonna report me and then I'm gonna get fired or something? Like, Jesus Christ. I don't think I mentioned the dude who worked on the porch at one dog's house. Well, like, the dog fucking loved that dude because I guess he knew her since she was a puppy. So she didn't want to go out on walks with me. So I couldn't walk her. Even if she had to pee and poop, she would just want to go back in. So my hands were tied, so I brought her back in. And then I didn't want to hang around for the usual time because the dude was there and it was awkward as shit. So I kind of like left because I couldn't really do anything. And then the dude, because he knows the owner, told the owner this. And I think she thought that I like did that all the time. Even though these circumstances are so extreme, I'm just like, oh my god. Yes, I take the dog out. Yes, I stick around with the dog. It's kind of bullshit, honestly. I didn't get fired for that one, at least.
And I'd be very surprised if you were fired just for that.
I'll just, like, you know, trust things or what. I don't know. Some of these dog owners are fickle.
I mean,
it's a scary business.
I kind of assume
sometimes.
that because they're the sort of person who gets an animal and then doesn't want to care for it.
I guess so. Like, the one... Oh, okay, we're good. Like, one person whose dog I did before summer happened, like, she basically told me that her kids wanted the dog, and they said they would care for it or whatever, and then guess what happened? So she's, like, kind of not happy about it, I guess. Or at least wasn't. Alright, I'm gonna hit this cannon. But, it is kind of funny sometimes that happens. Yeah, I'm just kind of like, now that I have this job, I'm like, no, I don't want to do an overnight every day of my life, essentially. That's how I look at dogs now. Of course, now that I picked this cannon, they all spawn over there.
Yeah.
The algorithm definitely knows something. So this cannon's just fucking weird.
There's a sniper deer, right?
Oh, don't worry, I'm aware. Moz.
I hate like how fucking magnetizing, like even the tiniest splash of green egg is. You just like root it to the ground completely, and it's like, I don't know who decided this change, but whoever did, they're like a fucking cunt, just entirely. I don't care how nice of a person they are in real life. They decided this, they're evil. Christ.
Damn, it's called game balance. I wouldn't expect you to understand.
I mean, yeah, it's called balancing your game the complete opposite way. just fucking it up.
Oh, speaking of game balance,
Yeah.
it seems like Mario Tennis Aces is kind of a shit show at the moment. Like, you know how Mega
You don't
Rayquaza...
say, it's almost like the fucking demo giveaway. That yeah.
You know how Mega Rayquaza has its own tier?
Yeah.
People are saying that Bowser Jr. has his own tier.
Oh, well, I guess I'm not buying that game then.
So, Bowser Jr. is apparently everywhere. Waluigi's also good because he's a defensive character. And then, you know, Bowser, I guess, is up there, but he does, like, no one holds a candle to Bowser Jr. Wario is apparently just bad because he's a worse Bowser, so I'm not happy about that. It's just, Spike can counter Bowser Jr. apparently also, which is terrible. Of all the characters, did it have to be Spike?
I mean, it's not like they put any other characters in the game, because it's like, well, we only have like 6 Mario characters.
I think it's weird that Donkey Kong has the same amount of reps in Smash Bros. As Earthbound. Was that it? I don't know.
Earthbound only has 2.
Doesn't Donkey Kong only have 2?
Yeah.
DK and Diddy? That's weird, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like... Oh, tennis Aces, please balance patch. Please, God. Please, God. Like, because ARMS got balance patches, so... I made a tweet where it's like, they're probably gonna think it's, oh, just Mario Tennis. Like, it's not Smash Bros, it's not Splatoon. It's fine, but ARMS got a lot of patches.
ARMS was also a fighting game, to be fair.
Yeah, I was also thinking that. We're just like, what if ARMS, they hired literal angels for ARMS and we'll never get that ever again. Because I think ARMS was the first time we got actual patch notes, and then Splatoon started doing it afterwards.
I mean, I think it was, yeah, and also, like, part of it is that, like, ARMS is, like, another production by, like, newer people in the company who are like, fuck yeah, like, I play other video games outside of Mario. But unlike, apparently, like, you know, the entire upper Nintendo echelon who just play their own games and only take ideas from themselves. So that's the only explanation I have for why they're, like, they are the most shithouse awful at online.
Oh, please, God,
I
no!
literally can't because, like, there's... Like,
No! I got to it.
The hordes, like, literally do not ever fucking
Yeah,
stop.
everyone was dead. I was the only one alive. The horde was walking over the
I was
eggs.
alive.
Oh, okay.
I was shooting the horde.
Yeah, I was like,
coming.
yeah, you had to get in the horde to get the eggs.
I can't win the front of the horde as a Quahog. And you can't fucking get in a Quahog.
It's a sad situation. Well, we don't know that yet.
Isn't that pretty decisive?
I think Mario Tennis, it's having problems. I'm not happy about it.
I mean, you haven't even played it yet, have you?
I know, I haven't. I might stream the
that.
story mode later. I want to do the story mode before I potentially go to Luke's this weekend, so... It's like, I'm giving myself a little time limit, and that should help. Yeah, like, apparently the story mode's really short, but with one obtusely hard mission. Bowser Jr. and Waluigi are ruling the meta online. Doesn't have many options. No Mario Tennis, please be good. Please, God.
Mom came in and just handed me the cat and said he's giving me a bath. And the cat's just jumping up and trying to wash her hair for her. Cause I have this theory because, like, Mario did the same sort of thing, where if your hair color is pretty close to the cat's, it will just assume you're also a cat. So it just kind of assumes my mom is a cat because she's got, like, dark, like, brown hair.
I thought you were talking about Mario 3D World.
No.
Like, the same thing Mario did, and then you're talking about cats and, like, color. I'm like, well, but Mario is yellow. I'm kind of confused here.
And, like, my older brother also has, like, black hair, and the cat fucking loves him. So he's just, like, you know, black hair, you look like a cat to Luigi here. That means you're his best friend, he will wash you. He is a good boy to everyone who's black hair.
Too bad you're cursed.
Mm.
But alright, yeah, 2:30 again. It's very funny.
You fucked.
It's just like, because you have work, so we kind of have to do it around now. I'll work it out, but for now I'm gonna go. So,
all right.
Thanks for stopping by, everyone, and we will see you.
Thank you for watching and joining.
29 at 2 p.m. tomorrow, where it should be more free because it's not Tuesday.
Friday. It's Friday, so it's like I can stay up and shit, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, so we also have that, but we'll probably do it the usual time. All right. Thanks for coming down, and I almost forgot the end card.
Rip.